call to order the committee of the whole on July 14th, 2025. It is 7 p.m. Liam, would you read the roll, please?
Member Wyrick?
Here.
Member Owens?
Here.
Member Cleaster?
Here.
Member Stroya?
Here.
Member Warren?
Here.
Member Matheny?
Here.
Member Orr?
Here.
7 present.
All right, let's start with street and alley.
This is a ordinance authorizing the mayor to release the sidewalk and bond agreement between the city and Canton regarding improvements made in sanctuary development phases 1 and 3 and improvements. Well, Rob has inspected it, so it's all in good shape. We passed an inspection and everything. They want their money. Anything to add?
No, you pretty well covered it.
It's been 20 years since this bond was originally given to us.
Wow.
Progress.
Do we have a motion in a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving to finance.
Okay, so 4A is we have some public green space and it's kind of on a decline. And so we're trying to offer that or make it available to offer to our residents. Anything else you want to comment on that, Ben?
Yeah, so the city was given this property when the neighborhood was first laid out because at the time our zoning ordinance required essentially a public park, public green space be given to the city. It is not, the property we were given is not used for public green space. It is a quite steep hill and you couldn't really build a public amenity on it if you wanted to. What has sort of brought this to the forefront is that we've had a number of tree-related issues on the property in recent years, and we've probably spent more than the property is worth on taking care of these trees on this property that doesn't serve a public purpose. So we're hoping the CIC can facilitate selling the property to the adjoining neighbors and letting it be people's backyards, which is really what it is today and a better use for it.
That's in Ward 4, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
that's your work.
For Westfield.
Right. And then walking it with Brian Hill, taking care of a tree at one point. There were some neighbors that were treating it like their backyard, using it like their backyard. Technically, it is the city's property. So now we can make it legally their backyard if they like.
So I motion to move item 4A to the council agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, 4B. So there were a number of different appropriations this month, some positive, some negative. So Gina, I'm gonna let you go over them because it ended up being a good amount of money.
Yeah, there is quite a list, and remember, this is July, so we like to close July with the best budget possible, because as soon as we close the month of July, we start building the budget in August for next year. So this is kind of a true up as to where we are so far through the year, some new monies that come in, some things that we're not going to do. So I'll go down, I'm gonna start on the revenue side, which we certify to the county auditor, and that makes the funds available for appropriation. So on the revenue side, we have projected, we're going to get $171,500 less for renting out the civic center. So that just has not really come to fruition in the contract like we had originally budgeted. And we just want that to be a truer number going into next year. And so that also affects the duties. We bill those to events when police are there for security. And so those monies are, this is the first full year of doing it that way. And so we're bringing in a little bit more than what we originally projected. Interest is up, which is good news before they drop the interest rates. I know we all want, but in our case, we're actually earning a little bit more interest than what we had projected originally. And we sold a property at 620 North Main. The CIC has sold that property. So we're transferring $170,000 of that sale, which was the price of the sale, back to the city. Then on the expenditure side, all those monies will be again certified by the county auditor, and now they come to council for appropriation. So the rentals, same thing, 120,000 for the civic center, we won't be spending on the management contract because it's a percent share of profit. 1206 North Main, that's an office building that the city still owns, the professional building. We have a tenant in there that would like some renovations, so we're going to do that, and it will be built into, part of it will be built back into his lease. The other part of it will be maintenance items such as paint, that kind of thing. The phone system, we budgeted 24,000 for. They did not bill us in a lump sum, but rather they're billing us monthly, and we charge that off to each department. So there was 24,000 in the IT budget that we will not need. The EMS received a Ohio Department of Public Safety grant for $2,725, and so they need that appropriated so they can spend the money, and then they'll get the grant reimbursement. The police received a $1,500 donation. We have vacations payout that we need to pay when employees leave the city. Not naming anyone. In the capital improvements fund, so this was on the fire department, they had originally budgeted to purchase a mini pumper, and the mini pumper that they were looking at and received quotes for was on the chassis of a dump truck. And they found a different, if I'm saying this wrong, go ahead and correct me, they found a different or better option that is actually on a pickup truck chassis, and it's going to cost $250,000 less. That's great news. Remember all those cuts we made to balance the budget? So the $250,000 is part of the required capital funds that we have to spend this year according to our ordinances. So we were able to reallocate that to the Price Park project. So you'll see that then on the Parks Development Fund, we have that 250 instead is going to be allocated to Price Park. The Fire Station Construction Fund, we did receive the first 250,000 of 3 annual donations from the Hoover Foundation. So we need to appropriate that money. And then in the insurance fund, we have some claims that are exceeding the stop loss, so we have to pay those. We will be reimbursed by the stop loss, but that usually happens 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 months as insurance works later. So we need to increase our appropriation to pay the claims, and then we'll be reimbursed later. Yes, lots of changes.
There was a lot.
That was a lot.
Do you feel good with where we're at? And
I do. I mean, everybody's been sticking to the budget.
yes,
You know, and I know they're already gearing up. We're going through purchase orders. Do you need this? Do you not need this? This is what you said you were going to do in the department, but you haven't started it. What's going on? We had a lot of discussions with all kinds of department heads. There weren't a lot of things, just a few things. And some things are timing. Some things you just can't do until the weather, you know, is not. The parks is really, really busy right now, so they're not going to do something else right now. But we had the good conversations. The only big change, was the fire pump.
250.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that was a big win.
Yeah.
Like I started adding
Right on
that up and I'm like, oh, I see some things we can
Yeah.
think about for next year. So that's great.
Yep.
Any other questions or concerns?
What did we expect for the revenue from the civic center events?
I believe we were at, we budgeted it based on number of events.
Yeah.
And then the percent revenue is different depending on what kind of event they're
Sure.
doing. So it is a more complicated calculation than what I can just rattle off that's not in my head.
Okay,
But I want to say it was around 220,
okay.
and we're cutting it back by 170.
There was one of the then.
You thought we were going to have 220 events?
No,
Oh, sorry. Okay.
in the gross revenue, and then we would pay them back 171 was kind of the idea for their share, their profit share. But the events just aren't coming in like we thought.
And is there anything that we can put our finger on as to why we're not having the events?
Yeah,
You
I
had a
mean, I know why. It's, when you have a wedding venue, you're planning years in advance sometimes.
Okay.
And when we stop doing it, it's hard to get traction back into that field.
Fair enough.
So it's, yeah, I knew it was gonna be different, but yeah.
Well, in the price increase.
Right, yeah, that too.
Price increase, and we
Marketing.
might want to put some money into a little updating. That is the feedback they're receiving when they come in and look at the ballroom. Younger brides, it may be a little dated with our shiny light fixtures and the green walls and those curtains. You know, people like a barn venue today. Well, that'll never be a barn venue, but I don't know if we can make it a little more neutral. You know,
By the time we make it a barn venue, then the
That'll be
nice
out.
shiny chandeliers are gonna be
Yeah.
put in, so.
so we'll see.
For the record, when my wife and I had our reception there, we quite enjoyed the facility. So. Of course, I'm dating myself.
Right, grass was in.
Are we still, Arrowhead is getting most of the weddings right now? are we doing like better, best, or, you know, stuff of that way of selling that?
I believe as Carrie explained it, when we
Carrie's-
met with her, right, she did say they're different venues really. If you want Arrowhead, it's a full food provided, everything. We're here, we don't have a full kitchen.
And we're not allowing alcohol still?
No, they can't
Oh,
have
they
that.
can't have
That actually is a good point on food. Also, when we used to rent it, we allowed you to bring anybody in.
Right.
Aunt Susie, the neighbor, anyone could bring any food in. Now they do, since they are professionally managing it, they have just a select amount of vendors that you can choose from that they work with, caterers, to cater that event, and that might turn some people off because they do want to do it at a very low budget and they want to do it with, on their own.
Thanks.
Okay, so I'll motion to move item 4B to the council agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Okay, and 4C, the Parks Master Plan appropriation. So we separated that out, just to make sure that all the other appropriations went forward. And this was a little bit different, and Christina, I'm gonna let you kind of lead the charge on this one.
Okay.
You've been so passionate and really taking the helm on this one, so thank you.
Sure, thanks, Steph. So yeah, we've been talking about this Parks Master Plan. We've been wanting to do it for years and finally got it into the budget for 2025. Unfortunately, we did not budget enough funds for it. Came in quite a bit higher than budgeted. And so what we need to do is appropriate additional funding in order to get this done. We put out an RFP. We had 4 firms who submitted, all of whom were the least expensive one was still 30,000 higher than we had appropriated. We had 6
Firms
sorry,
submit.
we interviewed 4 firms. Yes. And we had a selection committee that was made up of Catherine Ben Young, Jason Segedy, our economic development person, Brian Hill, Steve Shank, and myself. So we selected 4 of the 6, interviewed those 4, and it was clear that Brandstetter Carroll was the most qualified. So I've given you all a kind of one-pager, a 2-sided one-pager. I don't know if that's still a one-pager then, that has some information about why we felt Brandstetter was so well qualified, and why we need this plan. I know Catherine has talked to a number of you. I've talked to some of you. So I'm not going to go through this, line by line, but I will turn it over to Catherine if there's anything you want to add about this, and then we're certainly open to conversation. And I will just add, I have the City of Greens Park Master Plan here. This is it's a significant undertaking, so I'll let Melissa, if you want to pass that down, if anyone wants to see it while we're talking, you're welcome to take a look at that.
That's great that she's passing that down. Also, that would be one of the reasons with meeting with all the vendors. Brandstetter Carroll did have the most experience that was applicable to our size, more working with cities, not so much big, park systems and trails and things. It was more of a city master plan, and that's their document. And I will say, when we first budgeted the amount for this, we had no idea. We don't know what we don't know. We've never done a parks master plan, a strategic plan for our parks department in the history of the city. But it was clear once all the proposals came in that the higher cost does reflect what you get with it, which is a much deeper level of expertise, analysis, deliverables, higher than we anticipated. So, I mean, it's quite an undertaking. It is your designers, parks and rec specialists, aquatic specialists. We all know parks are very important to our community. Our people love parks. They're also very emotional, very sensitive about a lot of the park systems we have, and amenities that we have. And, this really, not having something like this, we didn't, like I said, we didn't know what the cost would be. Then when each one of these came in and we interviewed them, it was exceptional for what they entire, system. They're prioritizing capital improvements based on your community need. They do a lot of community engagement, outreach, analysis of the data that they get back. From that data, we can make more informed decisions that hopefully will save, our tax dollars down the road, and that we are, not, going off and embarking upon, park recommendations that don't come to fruition, and avoid costly missteps in our park, management. So, they'll really try to prioritize the capital improvements and then also leverage the data that they receive from maybe state and federal funding more, because you can get more funding out there. And also, if down the road we want to consider, and if the community is interested, based on all that they want, considering any kind of a park levy, something like that down the road, we would see the appetite for it, the cost of it, what would that look like, and that would be long-range planning. So that's what the master plan is. It's a, 0 to 2 year outlook, 2 to 5, 5 to 10, strategic plan to guide the staffing, the operations, the capital expenses. Just something we've done a great job with our parks. We've kept them beautiful, cut the grass, the pond looks good. But with the services, amenities, programs that other communities offer and our community says they want, we want to analyze this now. So that's where it came in. If you look at, you were given the best value rating forms, Branstead or Carroll rated high in all the quality areas. So an RFP is really a selection process, a public procurement process where you're looking for, this is a consultative service, a professional service. And they did in the qualification criteria is rate number 1 in every area. They just had the team. When we interviewed others, others were good, and all of them were good, but were they better? Yes. Were they more qualified? Yes. Did they have the team, the staff, the knowledge, the expertise? Yes. It was unanimous. It wasn't a split decision. All 6 said yes to Branstetter. Where they went down to not be number 1 was they were higher. There was, there was one or 2 of them that were a little bit lower, but that's what happens in the interview process when they come and they present and they have the team. And we asked a lot of questions. Each one of them were in here in this room over an hour to say, would this provide the best document to guide our parks, recreation, and open spaces? This plan is PROS. We have a lot of open space in this community, and what are we doing with it? What's the best land use for that? And that's what we want to engage these professionals for. So,
Catherine, I have a question. With the money that we have spent on Dogwood Pool, are they able to use any of those past?
yes.
So did that help with pricing?
Well, they will be able to use it. I don't know if that's a lot of it's dated. Some of the stuff,
Well,
actually,
some of the
Branstetter
new-
analyzed the pool, I think
Well,
15 years
if they
ago.
did a
didn't
new,
they?
Well,
like,
Yeah,
what was it,
2012.
Patrick, when we did that with Patrick, what was it, 3 years ago? I
Mhm.
mean, that's not that dated.
Oh, that.
That.
Patterson pools. They can take it, but, they're gonna take another consultant's report and they're gonna look at it, but then they're gonna do their own.
Yeah.
It's kind of second
You've
opinion
worked with
doctor
them
doesn't
before, right?
just go on the first one. What?
And you've worked with them before?
We have worked with them before. We all know they delivered a wonderful Dogwood adaptive playground. And we did an RFP for that. Why Branstetter probably stands out, they're good with parks. When we go to the Ohio Parks and Recs Association, they're there and, they do a lot in the state of Ohio from top to bottom. They're Cleveland to Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky. So they're very experienced.
And their final fee number was?
1, 2, 3. 123,000.
Yeah, they've completed 118 parks plans, and our park staff, so Brian Hill and Steve Shank, who had worked with them in the past, stated that, they trust them. They worked well with them. So having, that trust there is nice as well. But really, they just brought the most complete package to us. It was impressive. They went and visited every park before coming to meet with us that day. No one else did that. The others were all like, well, first thing we would do is visit your parks. And they're like, yeah, we went. We saw them all. So that was impressive too. Any other questions?
I appreciate the breakdown and what you
Yeah.
put into this. This is very nice.
Thanks.
It is a cost. We're not, we're cognizant of the fact there is a cost, but there can be a real value to it if we are able to use the information that comes out of it to position us well for more grants, for more dollars to come into the park system, and be able to, really look at all of the land use again, when I go back to, guiding us on what we should do with the amenities we have and the land that we have and the best use for all of that.
It aligns with a lot of the surveys too, of what people say they want. So it's really gonna help us guide. I think sometimes we get excited about the shiny new toy, like, oh, we need a dog park. Oh, we need, new playground equipment, and we do it, but we're not thinking like that 5 to 10 year down the road. And different options that might become available when different lands open up and different things. It's so important to have something like this. So
Well, and we are facing a decision with our pool. I mean,
Yeah.
that's, you know,
That's the giant elephant.
the
in the
elephant
room.
in the room is that, you know, we need to be able to
Yeah, we
make
can't keep.
an
kicking the can down the
educated
road.
decision on that. Yeah.
And when we discussed the regular master plan, we specifically excluded a lot of the stuff that is on here to save money, and we're coming to decision time on the pool. So I mean, this is hugely.
Well, I like, the point that she has here that we've spent $164,000 in the past, you know, since 2017. And that really truly is shooting in the dark without a roadmap on where to go. The other thing that I like is community-driven priorities. Again, Stephanie, getting the fact that, you know, some of these things have really been mentioned in the surveys, but I would assume, and correct me if I'm wrong, there will be a point for public to have input such as the master plan.
A lot.
That I think is more better, is much better scenario.
Jamie, they have a whole packet of.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So I think it makes sense.
Well, and it was really one of the ideas they had that I thought was fantastic that maybe others have seen before, but I hadn't, is they're like, we'll stand out at your Main Street Festival, we'll give everyone 10 fake dollars and tell them invest them. And so they have, you know, then boxes with different, you know, do you want a dog park? Do you want a pool? Do you want trails? And people are voting with their dollars. So it kind of brings that whole taxpayer thing full circle.
Hopefully, we'll get more citizens out than we
Yeah.
did for the city master plan. I went to every one of those meetings, and it was very, very full. You know, people who didn't even live in our city was attending and stuff of that nature. So it's up to each one of us to get our people out there and look at their ideas and stuff of that nature. And with the firms, with people.
Have you seen revenue trends the first half of this year above what was budgeted slightly?
Well, other than what we targeted, so with the last appropriations amendment, we did reduce general fund appropriations by 128,000. As far as revenues, we're up around 300,000, but that's because of interest and the sale of the property.
Right.
So those are new revenues. Everything else seems right on target.
Just, I know we budgeted to be balanced. I think that there are some funds out there that could be allocated to this 5-year plan. If we're gonna set a direction, we need to set a direction for more than just what's gonna happen next month. I know Christina is very passionate about our parks. I believe she'll be that catalyst that will drive this plan in the years to come. And have meaningful value for the residents of the her passion shows in the parks. Yeah.
Thank you.
All of you are, actually. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, yeah.
All right, I'm getting engrossed in this.
It is.
It's so cool. They had a COVID example of pickleball and how you only play with your families and people made the magic wand. So it's like fascinating. Okay, if no other questions, what number is this?
4C.
4C, I'd like to conduct the council agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Start in about 3 minutes. City Council meeting, July 14th, 2025. The time is 7:28 p.m. 28 p.m., sorry. Opening prayer, Jamie.
All right, thank you. If we could all rise. Let us pray. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the ability to come together for this meeting to do the business of our city. Please be here with us tonight and be with those not able to join us. Please watch over the city and this great country. In your name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Liam, would you please call the roll?
Member Wyatt?
Here.
Member Owens?
Here.
Member Pleister?
Here.
Member Stroya?
Here.
Member Warren?
Here.
Member Matheny?
Here.
Member Moore?
Here.
7 present.
I have a motion and a second to approve as presented the minutes from June 23, 2025 City Council meeting, the quarter 2 2025 financial report, and the codification updates to chapter 703, chapter 1701, chapter 1739, and chapter 1741, post ordinance 30 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so no one signed up for the first part of public speaks. So, all business. Liam, could you please read from the title, ordinance 26, 2025?
An ordinance finalizing the annexation of one parcel owned by the city of North Canton, located on Whipple Avenue Northwest, Wise Avenue Northwest, by establishing the zoning of the parcels as general business B and establishing the city council voting board as Ward 1.
All right, this is community and economic development. So this is the third reading, and if you would look at the map, this is the parcel that we're talking about. There's nothing new here that I know of. Anything new from administration?
Nope.
Any comments, questions on this? Make a motion to adopt the third reading of ordinance 26, 2025. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Liam, would you please read for the title, ordinance 34, 2025?
An ordinance amending chapter 707 mobile food units, specifically section 707.05 fees of the codified ordinances of the city of North Canton to remove the registration fee for mobile food unit registration.
Okay, this is ordinance rules.
So this is also the third reading, but we haven't talked about it in a little bit. So Ben, if you wouldn't mind just reviewing what this was one more time.
Under state law, mobile food units, food trucks are required to be inspected by the local fire marshal in any jurisdiction they operate in. In 23, council put a fee for that inspection. Administration has found that fee causes more problems than it's worth, especially because we're incurring very little cost to conduct the inspections, because what is working well is the please bring your truck to the fire department at a day of your choosing and we will inspect it. And so what we're simply asking council is to remove the fee in hopes that people are more compliant with the actual safety inspection, which is the important part.
They are small business owners, and that cuts into their small profit they're making.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. If there's no more questions or discussion, I will make a motion to adopt the third reading of ordinance 34, 2025.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Liam, would you please read the title of resolution 35, 2025?
A resolution rescinding collection of certain property tax levies for the remainder of their terms.
It is exactly as stated. So this is when we pass the income tax, this is what we promised to do. Concerns or questions?
Promise fulfilled.
Absolutely.
I motion to adopt the third reading of resolution 35/2025.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Liam, would you please read the title of ordinance 36, 2025?
An ordinance providing for the issuance and sale of bonds in the maximum principal amount of $16 million for the purpose of paying the cost of constructing, furnishing, and equipping and otherwise improving a new fire station with related site improvements and necessary appurtenances and related improvements thereto, and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Okay, there's the cost, 16 million, and there are all the things we're gonna do with it. With that income tax, is what we're able to do. New firehouse. So, any other questions or concerns? All right, a motion to adopt the third reading of ordinance 36-2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Liam, would you please read the title of ordinance 37-2025?
An ordinance authorizing the soft billing of residents and property owners, including commercial businesses, for EMS and fire services, including responses to motor vehicle accidents, ambulance transports, fire rescue services, structure fires, scene safety, and other related billable services, excluding fire prevention services.
Okay, again, exactly as stated, we are just going to bill insurance companies for those services that were mentioned. Questions? Okay, a motion to adopt the third reading of ordinance 37-2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to new business. I'm going to make a motion to suspend Council Rule 23 to allow for consideration of additional items that were discussed at the immediately preceding committee of the whole meeting.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Liam, would you please read the title of ordinance 43-2025?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of North Canton to release the sidewalk performance bond agreement between the city and McKinley Apple Grove Limited regarding improvements made in the sanctuary development phases 1 and 3 and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Okay, street now.
Okay, we discussed this at the committee of the whole meeting. I didn't realize it was 20 years old. And the bond is expected in, they've met all the criteria, so I would pass ordinance number 43-2025.
A motion
Motion
I
to
would
adopt.
to adopt
to adopt.
first reading.
Sorry.
That's
Yep,
okay.
you good. Story of seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'll make a motion to suspend the rules of council requiring 3 readings.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 43-2025 under suspension of rules.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Liam, would you please read the title of resolution 44-2025?
Resolution authorizing the North Canton Community Improvement Corporation as the agency of the city of North Canton for industrial, commercial, distribution, and research development to facilitate the purchase and or disposition of property owned by the city of North Canton.
Okay, are there any other questions or concerns? Okay, so a motion to adopt the first reading of resolution 44-2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Liam, would you please read the title of ordinance 45-2025?
Ordinance authorizing appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures and related one-time permanent transfers of monies made to various funds for the period beginning January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2025.
Okay. As Gina mentioned, at the council committee, of the whole meeting, there were a lot of kind of true ups at this point because as she said, we will start to work on the budget after this point. So we really took kind of a fine tooth comb to all the true ups that needed to happen. Were there any questions or concerns?
Are you excited to start working on the
I
budget?
can't wait. It's my favorite time of year.
I think that's what the department head say too. All right, so a motion to adopt the first reading of ordinance 45-2025.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'll make a motion to suspend the rules of council requiring 3 readings.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 45-2025 under suspension of rules.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Finance. Liam, would you read the title of ordinance 46-2025?
Ordinance authorizing appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures and related one-time permanent transfers of monies made to various funds for the period beginning January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2025.
Yeah, we're doing it. No.
Okay. Are there any questions or concerns?
This one's for the Parks Master Plan, just to clarify.
So this is 8F.
Yes.
Okay, so, Christina, again,
Eight.
AE.
8E.
Our agenda,
We
Parks
don't-
Master Plan is big.
That's
There's two parts.
Separate
You have
thing.
to appropriate the money first, then approve.
Oh, got it. So we've
That
got
was
money.
the-
Okay. That's what I was confused about. Okay, so this is appropriating money for the master parks plan. We had a really good discussion and, thank you to the administration and Christina for all your work about this. This is one of those that we've heard many, many, many times over the past years. There was something else that we would always talk about, and I'm like, if we bring this up one more time, and it reminds me of that, and I'm thrilled that we're able to move this forward. So, any other questions or concerns?
Good work.
I motion to approve as presented, the,
First reading.
hold on. Motion,
Use 8D, but just change the ordinance number to 42.
Yeah.
okay, motion to adopt the first reading of ordinance 46-2025.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now,
Do we go
Suspend the
through the
rules.
rest of
yeah,
these?
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules of council requiring 2 readings. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And I'll make, what's that?
Administration.
Oh, no, I'll make a motion to adopt, hold on, what else?
46.
46, 2025, under suspension of rules.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Yay. Good job, Christina and team.
We're done now. Okay, so now we do,
The masters, we award the contract.
Yes.
now we're,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now we're at 8F.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented the 2025 master plan contract.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now, we'll do public speaks. Liam, if you'd read the agreement, please.
At this time, members of the public who have signed up to address City Council will be called to do so. Each speaker will be given 5 minutes. Speakers shall be called in the order they signed up. During this section, comments shall be limited to items reasonably under the city's authority. The rules for speaking and the speaker's time will appear on the screens. After you have finished speaking, please remain at the podium to answer questions from the officials of the dais. This will serve as the final warning for all speakers. Any violation of the rules will result in ejection from the premises.
Okay, so just as a reminder, you'll approach the podium and then give your name and address, please. We'll start with Pat Powers. He's not this before.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Pat Patterson, 1754th Street, Cuyahoga Falls. Just want to review and preview, the community walks have been, just getting this thing off the ground. 2 weeks ago Sunday, we had 15 people show up. That's, using council meetings, using social media, word of mouth. I mean, it's advertising campaigns. I appreciate everybody support those in the room that have attended the programs. Definitely appreciate it. Doug Lecter from the Heritage Society has joined us, and he's really interested in plugging in with us and helping us to kind of put some things together. We will be having another one since this is the last meeting beforehand. We will be meeting at the west lot, Price Point, not the main lot here, but the one down, and that will be on the 17th of August, Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Rain or shine. If it snows, go from there. It's happened. So yeah, 17th August, 8 a.m. We usually go about 3 miles. We're going to start in our wonderful park. One of my childhood playgrounds, Price Point. So that'll be a really good time, I'm sure, for everybody. One last thing in parting, I just want to say, Madam, thank you for your service. Much appreciated. Our loss is sure. Real neat.
I think if we have snow on August 17th, we've got a lot of other issues.
And it'd be better sending it down, because, there's snow.
I will blame that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Good turnout last time. It
Yeah,
was fun.
15,
Perfect
yeah, I
weather.
appreciate,
It's
and
great.
Catherine being there yourself. Frank's come in the past, Carl's come.
You had a dog this time?
Yeah, Henry's great. I got a lot of positive feedback on Henry.
Well, it's fun. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, next up we have Mark Christine, sorry.
Nobody gets it right this time. My name is Mark Christine. I'm a resident at 8 Auburn Avenue Southeast, and I've been here for almost 2 years. And I'm here today to ask for some help and a favor from you. We have an issue in our neighborhood with the deer. And they pose several problems. I think the most concerning to me is, I'm a veterinarian, and the most concerning to me is the tick-borne pathogens that they carry. So I have 2 dogs. The pathogens that we think most commonly about are Lyme disease, but my dog developed Ehrlichia, which is also a tick-borne disease, heard by the Lone Star tick. Nasty tick in the sense that it causes meat allergy in people, so very big concern of all of us. But, so we have these deer in our neighborhood, they've been there. I think the biggest population that I've reported is 9. And in the fall months, there's a couple of big bucks that are pretty intimidating to friends of the neighborhood. So, at my behest, I put up a deterrent. And then I realized that deterrent was in violation of city law. So I put in a small battery-operated electric fence up, just trying to see if we can change the behavior of these deer. I don't think anybody in our neighborhood wants to see the deer harmed. The beauty of the electric fence, I've used it on farms in the past, in small ruminants, goats, sheep, large cattle, and they're very effective, they're very safe. You only touch them once, and the deer have found that to be a real deterrent. So we put a small strip up in an open area near my home, and over the course of about 3 months, the deer population went someplace else. And then got a little bolder and put a second line of fencing up near the perimeter of the property, and it also detracted deer from coming into the area and coming along and, again, carrying the ticks and the disease that they carry. So I guess what I'm asking, what we're asking as the community is your help in finding some way to allow this experiment to continue, to find a way to gently but permanently modify the behavior of these deer so they're not in our neighborhood carrying disease. I would also argue probably lower on the scale for me, would be higher on the scale for my wife and all her neighbor friends, is that we have a lot of gardeners in our area, and we can't grow anything that doesn't get destroyed in a matter of a few days to a week or 2. And I know we talked a little bit about deterrence, and I would argue that we've probably tried every deterrent known to man, invented some of our own, and the only thing that seems to be making a behavioral difference in their migratory patterns is this fence. And unfortunately, I didn't seek permission before I did it. It was kind of doing the experiment first to see if it was worthwhile to even continue. And what we're seeing is a very positive influence on the deer and a very positive influence on our landscape. And I'm hoping a positive influence in outcome with my dogs as well. Fortunately, my dog recovered from the Ehrlichia. She had a month of treatment on antibiotics. She's fine now, but I don't want my grandkids to get it. I don't want my family to get it. I don't want my dogs to get it. I don't want my neighbors' dogs to get it. And so what we're asking is some way to allow this to continue for some period of time until we get the migration patterns modified, and then take it all down. What questions can I answer?
I'll start. So I think the avenue you probably want to go to, in my opinion, everybody can go, would be CBOA, the zoning of Board of Appeals. I think that would be the best. Otherwise, we would have to, you know, it's gonna get referred over to planning or something anyway, if we came up with legislation anyway.
It's a criminal code, not a zoning code, that prohibits electrified fences in the city. So it's a
Gotcha.
misdemeanor to put up an electrified fence, not a zoning violation.
Okay,
So it would require council to amend the ordinance.
right.
So, can I ask you,
What wattage is the fence?
I don't know the answer to that.
It's not good.
It's what?
It's not measured in watts, it's measured in newtons.
What, how many newtons is it?
Less than 100.
Less than 100?
I know I can grab the fence. If I have shoes on, it doesn't bother me at all. If I take my shoes off and I'm grounded, I know that I touched it, but again, it's,
What about other animals?
For children.
so
Only
again,
takes one.
and our proposal is to put it in a place that is, it's well marked, it's a pretty brightly colored fence. It's not a steel wire, it's a yellow cable, with a very fine strand of electrical wire on it. And
Above
Again,
ground?
it's above ground because it has to be nose high for the deer
Right.
for them to be affected. Our plan was to put it in the woods. There should be no trespassing in the perimeter of the property. The part that I put up, I put electrical fence signs on it. But, I mean, this is the same apparatus that's in every goat farm in Ohio, cattle farm, horse farm. I mean, the electric fence is not an uncommon thing. And we talked to our insurance company, I talked to the insurance company about it, and they had no qualms about it. If it's against the law, is it against the law everywhere or just in?
So that was good. Is it against the Ohio Revised Code?
It's against our local ordinance.
Okay, local ordinance.
Does his fence meet the definition of an electric fence in the code, the city code?
I
Produces
believe
an
what the
electrical
code
current.
explicitly says is it is illegal to electrify a fence, not to build an electric.
Does it qualify as a fence in, like, by definition of what's defined as a fence in the code? You know what I'm asking?
It's not.
Yes. Yeah, it's poles at regular intervals with something in between. the two.
Gotcha. There's a definition of a fence.
In the zoning code, not criminal code.
Gotcha.
Do we have a backstory as to why an ordinance was put in place about electric fences? Do we know when that was put in place?
I would have to
I'm
look it up.
guessing
I
somebody.
mean, we're a municipality, you know what I mean? We're not,
Predates
A
probably
township.
everybody in this room.
Okay.
You want to change the migration, where do you want these deer to go?
We have the same problem. You know, I kind of probably at 9 to 12, and they run in packs, or they're coming from the golf course or the Price Park, you know, so they're gonna go to other neighborhoods within the city.
So at what level of,
And
at
they,
what
I got
level of
balls.
concern do we do something about it, I guess is my question. What's the prevalence of Lyme disease in dogs in the state of Ohio?
Well, so
One
the
in
issue
20.
the issue
Our
we've
county
had,
is 1 in 12.
Right.
like, this has been an ongoing thing for years. I mean, well before I was been on council. And, you know, they've searched several avenues of killing prey, place traps to hunters, to all that stuff. And the issue is we're in such a dense landlocked area that a lot of those things are not, they just aren't gonna work. You shoot a deer, it can run 100 yards and crash through somebody's glass in the porch and cause damage. I mean, there's a lot of side issues about controlling the herd.
The one thing we haven't tried is the procreation and where we would put out food, right, and then they would procreate. That is something that I know another area has done.
I did
but
a
it's
ton of
working.
research on that, and it's very expensive.
It is.
But that potentially,
To
maybe
to
we
be
could-
honest,
Effective
the most
moving
people
forward.
that we've had at any of our meetings, in all the years I've been here, and it's been 12 years, has been deer population.
Yeah.
But it's for and against. You know, people will say, oh, they ate all my animals, but, or they ate, not my animals, they ate all my flowers. Some put their wildflowers are like our pets. We get very excited about the growth. Right. And then, but at the same point, they're like, but we don't want you to shoot it in our yard, you know, and then we can't. And I live right behind you in Monticello, and just last week I paid $1,000 for my dog to recover from a tick-borne disease, and he can't wear a tick collar. And so 2 years ago I had a tick, I had Lyme disease, and so I hear you. And when you look at the cases of Lyme disease, they're quadrupling. I mean, it's crazy what's hitting Northeast Ohio this year. So it is an issue, and more prevalent than we have seen also.
Fear that if we open up electric fences, we're gonna shut them off. If it's nose high to a deer, it's face high to a child. Open it up in one yard, not open it
They'll
up
be
in
everywhere.
other yards.
No, they'll be
It's gonna
everywhere.
And to me, that fear of injury would be too great. Finding a deterrent, finding a solution, I'm not sure what that is. But I'm really not in favor of electric fences. Too many kids running around going to the fences.
Right across from you, those houses are inundated by deer all the time. One who crashed through one of the glass windows, you know, right on the main field, right on the field. And I feel like if, like you said, if we allowed that, I feel like everyone would be going and buying those tomorrow.
And only the people who can't afford to treat their dogs for Lyme disease would not have the electric fence, right? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, let's circle back and maybe we'll come out and look at maybe there's something we can do on a larger level, because I mean, yeah, it's not, you're not the only one having that issue. It's everywhere. It seems like it's getting worse every year.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know, so.
And we really haven't looked at the food, feeding them and the preparation.
It's like the closest one that I saw is the kind of Valley National
Yeah.
Park did, and they had some real high success, but it was a grant from the feds, so maybe we look at something like that. It's not gonna help you short term, but maybe it can help the whole community long term.
Maybe if we have a veterinarian who could help us write a grant.
Yeah, that was gonna be my offer. There's something I can do.
Right.
I'm not retired yet, but I'm getting. But if there's something that I can do that's of service to you, I mean, you're providing public service to the community, I am happy to do that.
Yeah,
That would be great.
let's meet up and continue the
It is, it
discussion.
continues to be, and especially in that area, like you said, the Price Park, I mean, we're inundated. And I don't know if you go behind that Monticello area, but kind of opposite side of where you are, right where the fence is, I swear I've seen 15 to 20 at some points. You know, and I've seen so many does this year, and then they're hit all the time on East Hill. Look, it's just, it is a problem. But we've had also where they've gone overhead and they say that we don't have enough to do some
Yeah.
federal funding. So even though we have all these here, we don't have enough to have the impact that we need from other agencies.
If you follow the state wildlife, which I've done,
Yeah,
if you have small nuisances, they tell you to follow an exterminator.
Yep.
When it comes to deer, like, nobody's doing anything.
no.
I think we all feel your pain.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing the conversation up again.
Yeah, let's touch base. Yeah.
And I wanted to thank you again as well, because I didn't realize the severity of the tick issue. So thank you very much for the information.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Okay, next up, we have Alexander. Okay, Brandon. Gotcha. Yes. Thank you.
My name is Alexander Prentice, 1580 Crescent Avenue, Southwest of North Canton. I'd like to speak to some of the concerns about the electric fence. First of all, I would agree that you don't want everybody that has a half acre lot. You can qualify in the ordinance that it was only for areas from 10 acres or more, 5 acres, 10 acres, whatever. You can put a qualifying number. So that would help us limit the electric fences at every neighborhood. You spoke to where would the deer go if we chase them out. we're not chasing them out of our woods. We're simply preventing them from getting to the residential area. We have plenty of woods. They can live in the woods. We're not gonna put the barrier on the outer edge of the woods. You're gonna put it in the middle of the woods. That will allow them plenty of space to exist on the Auburn Knolls property. We're not trying to shift the problem to somebody else. We're trying to keep the vector of Lyme's disease away from the residents themselves. My wife has the residual of long-term Lyme disease. It's a nasty thing. It can't be cured. She will never be the same again. And there's nothing you can do to prevent it when you have a high deer population. Lyme disease comes along with it. As a community, we need to find a solution. I mean, the ODNR is going to say, put up exclusion. That's their first one, like a Department of Natural Resources. First thing they want you to do is use an exclusion. This exclusion works. Is it 100% safe? It's never going to hurt anybody. You know, you asked about what if a child comes in contact with it. It's not going to hurt a child any more than it's going to hurt a 10-pound. I mean, are they going to learn a lesson? Sure, they're going to learn a lesson, but it's a lesson. It's not a damage. It's not an injury. We're not trying to chase them someplace else. We're just trying to keep them away from the close proximity of the residences. So as people go out and walk their dogs, they don't brush up against a bush, walk through the grass, and have a tick jump to them. That's the pathway to how you conduct the Lyme disease. I mean, we've done everything in the world. You know, the plants are that's a shame. You know, we've used chemical deterrents for the plants so that they don't want to eat the plants. The plants eating the plants is secondary. Primary is the disease vector that is coming into our community, and we have to face this as something that is out there. You know, if the community starts having people come down with Lyme disease, there's going to be an outcry of how are we going to fix this. It's the only way you come down with Lyme disease is get bit by a tick. And the only place the ticks are brought in is with a deer. So, you know, to keep chasing this in a circle and saying, well, we can't do this, we can't do that, and the ODNR wants to let you do that. Well, we couldn't have a deer roundup because we don't have enough. You know, we're just kicking the can down the road. And the can has gotten so far down the road that now the disease factor is way more of a problem than just, I'm losing my geraniums. So they don't eat geraniums. So, but this is the strand of stuff that would go up, suspended this far above the ground and halfway to the ground. And it's on flexible posts. So if somebody ran into it, it would collapse. Can the deer jump over it? Absolutely. They will learn to jump over it. They also learn to respect it. We have turned the electricity off. When we found out we were in violation, we turned the electricity off. They know that this is not a thing to play with. They recognize it. They're still wary of it. Are they getting back to the point where they're going to test it again? I'm sure they will. And they test it by putting the fawns in front of them and letting them go first. I think it's time to stop kicking the can down the road and come up with a solution. This is a solution that is harmless to the population, doesn't kill deer, doesn't hurt anything else, yet will allow us to keep the vector of disease away from our homes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Do we know what other communities that surround us, what sort of regulations they have as far as electric fences? Are we anomalous in being the only one that has this, or?
No, you're not an anomaly.
Okay, oh, I was asking,
I've already checked everybody around.
okay.
This
So you're
follows
saying other communities have it then?
This follows the Ohio corporate law, or it's part of that, but it offers the individual communities the option to modify it.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
I would say probably the biggest difference between us and our neighboring townships is that you can shoot it in the township.
Right.
Yeah.
And the biggest difference between us and Canton is that comparatively, we are much more rural than Canton.
Certainly, okay.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Let's move on to department reports, and we'll start with Kathy.
All right, well, you've come to your area in East Hill. We started the project, the new curb and gutter, so a little minor detour for a couple weeks, but they're busting out all the old curb and gutter over there. So Rob's not here tonight, but I'll let you know he's coming to the first meeting when we come back from break for, some project updates and things. We do have Marty for tonight. Also, it's talking about roads, July 25th, right? That's when he's gonna start Main Street.
Say that again?
Main Street, with Rob's project, that was paving of Main Street,
On what time?
July 25th.
July 25th.
The contractor was delayed at the job they're leaving.
Gotcha.
If you remember before, we were like right after the 4th of July. We
Yep.
wanted to get through all the 4th celebrations and then we're gonna start that project. It's just a little delayed, but it'll be July 25th.
Main Street,
What's that?
I didn't catch it.
The Main Street
Main
project,
Street
paving.
from 50th Street to.
Isn't it 7 to?
50th to Knoll and 7th to Rose. And then
50th to Knoll, 7 to Rosa.
They're not gonna do anything East Hill to.
that segment was paved 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And then north of 7th was paved 2 years before that, roughly.
Main Street or Cleveland Avenue.
So this will be, when this project is done, all of Main Street will have been paved in the last 10 years. And then this
Is that gonna be
company,
enough?
this company is also doing the paving for Woodrow, so while they're in town, they'll be repaving Woodrow. And then they have won the bid for Canton's Cleveland Avenue, which picks up right at our, so they're gonna pretty much just keep going south
Nice.
on Cleveland.
It'll be a lot better. Will any of our city crews doing patching, repairing, because there's a lot of damage from the roses and that area.
They always do. So. also
And that's no gutter.
Yeah,
No
that's
gutter or
just
sewage.
the paving. It's just the paving stuff.
Well,
Curb and gutter is East Hill.
we've been, our crews have been doing curb and gutter up and down Main Street all summer
Yeah,
long. You might have
around
seen,
50th
like right in
Street.
front of City Hall, the bricks were stacked up for a couple days.
So speaking of, I said, since that was delayed after the 4th, we haven't had a meeting since July 4th, so I do have to give appreciation, thank you to the community groups that made the 4th celebration in our community. So we had the JCs, did the parade, and the Faith United Methodist Church allowed them to stage in there because they couldn't with the school. So thank you to the church for allowing that. YMCA helped out a lot. They also organized their race, which was very successful. And of course, all of our city departments, we have our police, our fire, we have our street service workers, all our crew. You don't bring that many thousand people into your city and have it go off successfully. No incidents, no accidents. It was a nice day. So again, a nice day to celebrate the 4th of July. So just want to say thanks to everybody there. Also, in employee updates, I posted a position today. We had a resignation in our service department, so we have an opening for a service worker. So that's been posted for a couple weeks. And then, there'll be another change in city employment as well. We'll just wait and someone else to talk about that. I think that's all I have.
So, thank you.
In the packet, there was the second quarter finance report, so it includes, if you remember, the investment portfolio, so you take a look at that, we're about 90% invested as of the end of June, and then I also have a quarterly check register, so if you want to peruse through the checkbook. Our audit is complete for 2024. It was clean audit. No material misstatements, no findings for recoveries, no summary of unadjusted differences, they call it the SUD. No comments at all, so crispy clean, just good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go to Leon.
This is my last chance before we go on break and the survey period closes. I will once again ask the community to fill out their 2025 community survey. Every response counts, and everything helps us make better decisions as we prepare, create long-term data to compare between surveys. So the survey is online. It was also mailed out with the North Canton Sun. And if you drop by City Hall, I will be more than happy to come give you a copy.
The responses to it.
We're in, I think, like the 450s, 460s, which is down from the 841 we got last time. So I'm really banking on this last home stretch, and I'll be out at Main Street taking responses as well.
Thanks, good, cool. And the myth and the legend, Martin Van Gundy here, so.
Well, thank you. So we've been working on backup plans, contingencies to accommodate the workflows and workloads on that. So we'll continue doing that short term and long term. Of course, you see the projects underway, the Chick-fil-A, the Acme. That actually has been quite an impressive feat to remove the front portion of that building. As you've seen, Dairy Queen has recently opened. We issued the certificate of occupancy there. Of course, the duplexes out on East Hill, those are well underway. They're selling those as, well, they're building them as they sell them. So that kind of indicates what the market's doing there. He's doing very well. Some of the projects we have in plan review, though, that obviously you don't see quite yet. Well, actually, the middle school you do as a program. But the vertical construction you don't see. That's in plan review. We'll be finishing up comments there for the architects to return those plans. We also have an expansion of Ellesmere Auto Body over there on East Maple. That's in plan review as well. And then, of course, there's a handful of plan reviews for the Diebold expansion. They're moving that several phases. So we've completed some of the phases, on the site as well as the plans and in review on that. I believe that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Ben, do you want to go now or do you want to go after council reports?
Up to you, if you want me to do my actual updates now and then
Let's
the
see
big
that.
thing after.
Yeah, strictly business, right?
Okay. So since last time we met, our first Beauty on Main project was completed, which is the temporary mural on City Hall, which hopefully will become a nice summer tradition for the city. Personally, as a person who works in the building every day, I think it adds some wonderful color to the front of the building. Not that the white hydrangeas aren't beautiful, but they're not really colorful. So this adds, I thought, a nice pop of color. Was painted by an artist named Grace Nestor Louis. And I hope that you all get to enjoy it. We're going to leave it up all through our summer festivities, and then we'll clean it off. And then my second thing is, last time we were here, we were talking about the state budget and the potential impacts on property taxes. And state budget is kind of done. A version of it has been passed, adopted, and signed, and partially because of the governor's vetoes. At the moment, there are no major property tax rule changes that will affect us. There is, the legislature has already said, though, they will be coming back into session for some veto overrides. And the ones that are on the table that would affect us are the potential 40% carryover rule, and then the elimination of replacement property tax levies. The sort of secondary bill that we thought might get added to the budget, House Bill 335, to eliminate all property taxes, at least for the moment, appears to have been laid to the side, but we'll keep you updated if that appears to change. Those are my business reports.
All right, thank you. Let's go to council reports. Start with Jamie.
Sounds good. I want to dovetail into what Catherine was talking about, the 4th of July festivities, but I'm going to go a day before, and I'm going to give a big shout out to the library, because that was just a really cool concert, the U2 concert. Just what an awesome event, and send a big thank you to you guys at the library. Also, as Catherine said, want to thank, I guess I'll go in chronological order, certainly thank the North Canton YMCA. I know my son and I did the race in the morning. It was fun and wonderful as always. And then, of course, thank you to the JCs for the parade. I did want to add something in, and I waffled back and forth whether or not I was going to say this or not, but I think I will. I think we all saw some different comments and quotes on social media about things they didn't like this, people didn't like that. I just want to remind the public that every single event, I guess with the exception of the library, these are put on by volunteers. And I'm going to go back to the North Canton Lions Club putting on the Memorial Day Parade. And I guess the YMCA isn't volunteers either, but the JCs put on the July 4th parade. They've put on fireworks. They had done a fair for many, many, many years. These are all volunteer organizations. And I would like to give a challenge to the folks that have put negative comments or we didn't like this, we didn't like that. I would challenge you to go to the website for any one of these organizations, the Lions, the JCs, Rotary, the Chamber. I'm sure I'm missing some. Sign up, volunteer. If you don't like one of these events, volunteer, bring your ideas and make it better. Because I know every single one of these organizations is hurting for members. I saw it as a past president of the North Canton JCs, a fantastic organization. Although I'm excited to hear that they are certainly up in members now as the Stark Community JCs, but these organizations could use people willing to help. So that is my challenge to the community. Volunteer. That's it.
Stuff. David, Chairperson of Personnel and Safety, thank you to our finance team for the wonderful work they do, the clean audit, the amount of work that goes into that. It takes good people. It takes great leadership to bring about those results. We appreciate that. I would like to yield the remainder of my time to Chief Kemp. If you would like to just give us a couple minutes about the bicycle rodeo. Safety.
Bicycle rodeo, huge step. Shout out to Spencer Guevara, who organized it for our group. Major Buzzard, who was there with me. Really missed a council member used to come out and used to give me a pretty good run for my money on the slow race, but I did have some contenders this year with some of the youth that came out. We were very fortunate to have a benefactor from a bicycle shop that was local, as mentioned on our Facebook page, that donated a bicycle. Coincidentally enough, the young man that won the bicycle was a middle child. He is accustomed to getting hand-me-downs. And I had an opportunity to do helmet fitting for a lot of the kids that were there, that we were able to catch, to make sure that they were properly fitting their helmets, so they weren't sliding too far back. Unfortunately, we didn't catch all of them, as some kids are, they're just excited to go on course. But we got to share that where the helmet should be, your adjustment on your ears, it should be just below the ears on those little plastic pieces. And then your chin strap should be about 2 finger tight. That way the helmet sits level on the head, so it's not backwards when you fall forwards. You've got protection for that. As far as skills go, we had a slow race, which is teaching them balance as they go. They do a stop on the dime, is how fast can you go, and you have to realize that you have to stop within this box. Now they get to run through this course several times, and then they have a weaving course that they go through, and then to top it off and put everything together, we do a figure 8. Well, this year we were able to get a couple of the kids involved in figure 8 with us. We had 2 adults and 2 kids that we were all able to fit within the figure 8, and we kept our pace at such that we all stayed upright. Nobody put their feet on the ground, which is a significant thing when you're in a tight space like that, because you do have to work around each other. Cone Ice came out for a bit, visited with us, gave away free ices for that. The church up there, they gave us an opportunity for a place to be, which was great because the kids get to come out. Not to mention a shout out to our fire department. We had our command post up there for us to have a shaded covering area for us. While we were doing check-in with that, a couple of our spouses came out to assist in check-in, to assist with face painting that occurred on site. So we had a variety of activities for the kids. The fire department also took their opportunity to show off their wares that they had. Kids like to see all that. Like, it was a great time. Thank you very much for the opportunity to talk about it. Very exciting to get it out. We know that there is competition. It is middle of July, we take on vacation. Softball tournaments that they do. And we realized that we had just under 40 kids. And to that each kid had at least one parent.
Thank you for that. Who won the slow bike contest?
This year, there was a lot of pressure on me this year. The mayor wasn't there, Jamie wasn't there this year, challenged me, but I had a couple of really impressive young youth out in the community that, you know, they just intimidated me so much that they beat me.
Well, I look forward to a rematch, hopefully next year then, on the slow race. So it pained me that we were not there. We were at the softball tournament. You know, Facebook's popping up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I was there. But now, of course, I'm glad this for my daughter and stuff. Next year, Chief.
Not to mention, we had Danielle from upstairs. She came out and she did a great job supporting us and providing us with someone who's able to take pictures of the website. So they did that journalistic action photos. Very much kudos to her for
That concludes my. Melissa.
No report.
John.
The 4th of July parade. Thank you to all the organizations that helped. Seemed to me it went pretty well. We did have an incident, and I've gone to probably 35 odd. The kids were streaming out more into the street this year than they ever have, right around First Huntington Bay and City Hall. And, you know, we were all concerned because of the tragedy that happened up in Green. So we were trying to make it, if we could, you know, just keep remembering, keep them on the side. They were clear out in the street. And that's the only bad thing that I noticed. The command post out there, it showed the drone, and that's a great thing. Hopefully a lot of people took advantage of that. Walking around in my neighborhood, okay, I've noticed, I don't know if we, with the street department, I need to call down there or not, there's a lot of weeds growing onto the roads around Middlesworth, Church, Harmon, and I don't know if we ever sent and put some chemicals on it or anything, but this is out toward the road. We got the brim of the road, I thought, didn't get this far. I don't know. The sewers, gutters, we still need some work. Hopefully they're out there and they're doing it. I haven't seen it. Hopefully we're getting them out there because that's gonna help us. And I know with all the roads we're patching and all that, short on help, I understand, but it is it's something that needs to be done. At least once a week and twice a week. Saw mosquitoes, so that sprayed, I think it's Thursday, so great job on that. Other than that, I've got, since election year, so I'm out walking more and more, and they are really happy from what I'm doing. Thank you. Well, not me, it's a team. So you guys all deserve a lot of applause. Keep up the good work. That's it.
Thank you, John. Stephanie.
Okay. A lot has already been said, but thank you to finance and your team. As the finance chair, I, of course, always loved all your colors and all your graphics. But just thank you. And thinking about all those different appropriations and the meetings that are coming up. And it's a lot of work. And we have done pretty well this year with it, but those conversations always take a lot. And it's about the people. And you getting to know those people, what they need, and it's evident that they trust you. So I appreciate all that you're doing with that. Thanks to administration for helping us move forward this master plan. That's not easy. Getting those bids in, and especially when they come in higher than expected, and getting that information to all of us. So thank you for taking the time. Catherine should reach out to us and make sure that that was clear, and that we understood what was going on. It's a lot of the times the after hour things that happen that we need to be aware of different things that are going on, and we can't always read between the lines, and that takes so much time from all of you. Christine, I want to give a big shout out to you with that as well. A few of us had a few Sunday conversations yesterday, and so thank you for walking up the hill with me and letting me go and exercise and talk through some things. I appreciate that. And that's the great thing. It's kind of, John, to your point, is we can call any of us at any time, truly, and everybody's willing to talk. I was talking to Catherine on her day off. I would talk to Ben. I would talk to Gia. I mean, it doesn't matter. Everyone is always picking up the phone, and that's a big deal between each other.
Everybody, you should mute your cell phones.
I so appreciated the individuals that came. I have a lot of experience with Lyme disease, and the numbers are astonishing. And when you get Lyme disease, the CDC calls you because it's such a big deal, and they want to know where it's coming from. Carroll County has also been affected greatly, and maybe it is time to do something. And somehow draw our biggest crowds, whether they're feeding the deer at one point and then removing Deer Park for Chick-fil-A now. They should have waited around. They would have had really good sandwiches if the deer had stayed in place. But that was really interesting what he said, and I didn't realize the prevalence in dogs and just that awareness is huge. So I think that's it. Thanks to Rob and all the things that are happening. It always amazes me. And Jamie, I appreciate your point. I've done a lot of work with volunteers and nonprofits, and I saw some things on Facebook too. And the cool thing is that even though they were the North Canton fireworks, a lot of other communities were apparently very saddened by the lack of North Canton not providing fireworks for those communities.
Yep.
So there is an opportunity for us to partner with some of those like communities, like is it Plain, or is it Green, or is it Uniontown? Is it some of the smaller entities where maybe some of our nonprofits can work together? So I'll put a pitch right now. If there's a nonprofit that would like to support us, like the JCs did for so many years, we are willing participants. This year it probably wasn't going to happen with the building of the school. And so some of those comments, people had just driven around our area and known that we're building new schools and maybe didn't have some of the locations available. But there's a lot of opportunity for us to work with other communities and organizations to have fireworks here again. But that was never a city, to be clear, line item. So it was not on us, as some people were pointing out. And we're so thankful that the JCs did that for so many years.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, everybody needs volunteers. And Ben, just one last thing. Before you say your remarks, just thank you. I've worked with you the longest. And I think, if I recall, it was because I made a statement when we were at Walsh. And I said something about, we would love to have interns. And gosh, if you're here and you're interested, and Patrick or whoever was here, maybe it was David at the point, like, don't we want interns? And they agreed. And you came up to me afterwards and you were like, are you serious? Did you really mean that? So I have a hand in your career trajectory. So I want Sharda to reach out and say thank you.
You're like, well,
And thank you, truly, from North Canton. You and Catherine and Gina and your whole exec team have really changed things dramatically, especially in this last year, I would say. And you've given a new meaning to what a younger professional can do. And I always get mad when people say things about young professionals or this and that. There's no one mold. And you've taught me a lot. And hopefully we've taught you a lot that you can go and lead Chardon differently. I think that they're going to be surprised by some of the things that you teach them as well. So that's really exciting. So thank you for all you've done.
Christina.
All right, thank you all for getting this Parks Master Plan done. I'm so excited that we get to do it, and I appreciate the praise and kind of gratitude to me, but I do want to point out Catherine wrote the RFP. She got it posted. She has been in touch with all of the firms. So, you know, I have the passion, and I certainly did a lot of work this weekend too, but this was driven by Catherine, and I just so thank you for just guiding the whole process, and just thanks to all of you for recognizing the value and the importance of doing it. Then I guess the only other thing I have is, again, tagging on to Jamie's discussion earlier about volunteers. The North Canton Chamber has their call for volunteers open right now. There's a sign up online. If you go to the Main Street Festival Facebook page, you can sign up for Refuse Patrol. I wouldn't do that one. But somebody has to do it. Yeah, somebody has to do it, but I'm not. You can pour beer, you can work in their family zone. They need help, you know, helping directing vendors to their spaces. So you can sign up for just a couple of hours, but that event is a huge lift with volunteers. So if anyone's able to help or was inspired by what Jamie said or Stephanie said, go sign up for Main Street. And that's all.
Awesome, thank you. I'm not going to rehash a lot of the stuff. The events were great. I do appreciate greatly the work on the master plan by Christine and Catherine. I think that's a really important aspect that we've been missing forever. I mean, we have never had that. So very much looking forward to that. I'd like to stand up and preemptively, everybody give Ben a round of applause.
It's gonna be really embarrassing when my speech starts with, I got a lot of problems with you people.
Yeah, that's all right. But no, I mean, I just a heartfelt thank you for everything you've done. I think like legislatively, all that you've provided, the leadership, it's been phenomenal. I really can't put it into words. So, I appreciate everything. I love you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go on. Turn it over to you.
Well, I will just say this real quick. Stephanie mentioned that council meeting. I said to Ben, what was that again? Was that 19? It was 18. 7 years have gone by.
Wow.
And just before you even get started, like, look how much. I mean, you weren't graduated from Walsh yet.
No.
Didn't have his undergrad, got his grad. Then he got his undergrad, got his graduate degree, wasn't married. Now he's married, wasn't a homeowner, has a home. Came in as an intern, went from an intern to a council clerk, from council clerk to policy analyst, to legislative director, to deputy director. 7 years. You've seen so much growth. I'd like to think we raised you. And that is wife here at Walsh. So I say when you have a family, we would take credit and say that was all because of North Canton. Brought you two together. So
And there's gonna be a lot more change too. He's gonna be trading his car in for a snowmobile and a snow.
yeah. And now the speech.
Yes, I think it's an open secret at this point that I have accepted the city manager position for Chardon, Ohio. And I had my first council meeting with them last week, and this will be my last council meeting with all of you. I had a different speech, but Catherine told me that was a bad idea, so I'm going to switch it up.
Are you switching it up?
I want to say very clearly that I am not leaving because of North Canton in any way, shape, or form. As I said to the CLA members, some of whom are here tonight, why am I here in North Canton? Because I may not have been born here. I may not have grown up here. I may not have gone to Hoover High School, or like a certain deputy fire chief dyed my hair orange and black for Spirit Week. So it is not literally my hometown, but it is certainly in my heart, my hometown. As Catherine alluded to, this is, where I went to college, where I met my wife, where I had my first home, had my first real job, made hopefully some of my lifelong friends that I will continue to text and harass, asking, what are you guys doing in North Canton? Because I think it's probably Uncharted. And it's just an absolutely wonderful community, and it took a lot to take me to it. I can honestly say that I was recruited for Chardon, and that they wanted me and pushed hard, and it was just an offer that I could not say. North Canton, North Canton has an incredible team of dedicated public servants who work tirelessly every day to make life livable. Many of them have served this community for decades, and yet most people will never know their names or the hours of time spent coming in early, leaving late, or running around just so the people they serve can go home and fall asleep, never asking if the basics of their everyday life will still be there. I am so proud to have been a small part of that team. During my time with North Canton, I've been many things. I've been an intern, clerk of council, director of legislative affairs, civil service secretary, IT systems manager, public policy analyst, and finally deputy director of administration. But it's more than any title. I have been a servant to this community. I have carried its needs, its hope, and sometimes its baggage. And so if through all of those titles, all that I have actually been is an overpaid bellhop, then it has been the privilege of my lifetime to carry that baggage with the utmost service, care, and love for the city. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow.
That was
Too much.
devastating.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you, Mr. Young.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you.
We know you will be successful, but it may not pay any part of it. Your dedication and service to the community will be missed here, and I'm sure will.
Thank you, Mayor.
So we'll all be coming up to visit. Week by week.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Right, final call for new business. Seeing none, moving on. Okay, so we are now on summer recess. And our next meeting will be August 18th, and it will be a committee of the whole. Unless you guys want to meet sometime.
Sure, what are you guys doing next week?
You left.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?